Hi, Laura McHarrie, Peppermint and Licorice, Tea Break Top Tip. We're going to look at mapping your business portfolio in this 5-10 minute slot. So I'm going to start off with sharing with you the Boston Matrix. Lovely visual model, this one. We use this to identify specific strategies that you can use when considering the value of products and services to your organisation. By value, we mean the contribution that it makes to the bottom line. The Boston Consulting Group created a matrix to assist organisations in deciding how to allocate investment among their products or services. By dividing the matrix into quadrants, 4 groups of products can be identified using as descriptors their position relative to the market share and the market growth rate. When faced with the findings from a Boston Growth Matrix, there are 4 possible strategies that organisations can adopt. They can build share. That's invest to increase market share, for example, turning a question mark into a star, or a dog into a cash cow. They can hold. That's invest just enough to keep the product in its present position. They can harvest, reduce the amount of investment in the product in order to maximize its short-term cash flows and profits. And they can divest. They can get rid of a product by selling it or phasing it out. Question marks and dogs are the most likely to be sold off, and the funds used to invest in other question marks and stars. The stars are high growth products or services competing in markets where they are relatively strong compared with the competition. Stars are the most important category because they are your future. You need to invest heavily in them to maintain their growth and maximize their returns. Cash cows consist of low growth products or services with a relatively high market share. These are mature, successful products with relatively little need for investment. Milk your cash cows, but also look after them. Don't take them or their customers for granted. The question marks are products or services with low market share, but which operate in high growth markets. They may have potential, but they will require substantial investment in order to increase their market share. It's with question marks that you really earn your money. You have to decide which to hold back on and which to abandon and which to invest in. Dogs refer to products that have low relative share in a low growth market. Dogs may generate enough cash to break even, but they are rarely worth investing in. If you work solely on a product which is classified as a dog, then either get out or increase the product's market share. If you are responsible for deciding which products and units to keep, you will have to decide which dogs you're going to put down. The thing is, do you know which of your products are stars, cash cows, question marks and dogs? And are you emotionally attached to a particular product or service? The first product that you ever developed, for example, or the first shop that you opened? And can your attachment cloud your judgment? Everyone loves a poppy dog, don't they? So what you may need to do in order to use this model is to look at the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule, and the rule of thumb. We can do a quick look at using our knowledge of our products and our services by plotting them onto the graph like so. But we may also need to think about heuristics and ratios, because this is an analysis that's going to be a little bit subjective in the first instance, and then you may want it to be a bit more realistic or reliable in the second instance. I mentioned the rule of thumb. Many think that the phrase, the rule of thumb, comes from the old rule in English law describing the maximum diameter, the stick with which you are permitted to legally beat your wife. This isn't true. The phrase was actually used to refer to the fact that the first joint of an adult thumb measures roughly 1 inch. Since the human dimensions vary, this is only considered a rough approximation, hence the rule of thumb. However, it kind of works, and there's an awful lot of subjectivity involved in looking at this analysis. The importance is that heuristic, which is what we're talking about here, can be matched up with much more reliable information when we look at the ratios that are involved in measuring your business. So it's well worth having a look in the first instance at doing your 80-20 rule. 80% of the products produce 20% of the products produce 80% of your turnover. But actually, you need to double check to make sure that that is the case. So that's it from me for this particular tea break tip. So we'll get back to the peppermint and licorice, and look forward to seeing you next time.